Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 6, Book 60, number 451. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. As regards Allah's statement, "Move not your tongue concerning the Quran, to make haste therewith," 75.16, when Gabriel revealed the divine inspiration in Allah's apostle. He, Allah's apostle, moved his tongue and lips, and that state used to be very hard for him, and that movement indicated that revelation was taking place. So Allah revealed in Surah Al-Qiyamah, which begins, "I do swear by the day of resurrection," 75, the verses, "Move not your tongue concerning the Quran, to make haste therewith. It is for us to collect it, Quran, in your mind, and give you the ability to recite it by heart." 75.1617, Ibn Abbas added, "It is for us to collect it, Quran, in your mind, and give you the ability to recite it by heart means, when we reveal it, listen. Then it is for us to explain it, means, it is for us to explain it through your tongue." So whenever Gabriel came to Allah's apostle, he would keep quiet and listen. And when the angel left, the prophet would recite that revelation as Allah promised him. Volume 6, Book 60, number 452. Narrated by Abdullah. We were with the Prophet when Surat Wal-Mursalat was revealed to him. While we were receiving it from his mouth, a snake suddenly came and we ran to kill it, but it outstripped us and entered its hole quickly. Allah said, "It has escaped your evil, and you too have escaped its evil." Volume 6, Book 60, number 453. Narrated by Abdullah. Similarly as number 452 above. Volume 6, Book 60, number 454. Narrated by Abdullah. While we were with Allah's apostle in a cave, Surat Wal-Mursalat was revealed to him and we received it directly from his mouth as soon as he had received the revelation. Suddenly a snake came out and Allah's apostle said, "Get at it and kill it." We ran to kill it but it outstripped us. Allah's apostle said, "It has escaped your evil, as you too have escaped its." Volume 6, Book 60, number 455. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. As regards the explanation of Hadith 454, indeed, it, hell, throws about sparks, huge, as forts. We used to collect wood in the form of logs, 3 cubits long or shorter, for heating purposes in winter. And we used to call such wood, the Kasa. Volume 6, Book 60, number 456. Narrated by Abdullah. While we were with the Prophet in a cave, Surat Wal-Mursalat was revealed to him and he recited it, and I heard it directly from his mouth as soon as he recited its revelation. Suddenly a snake sprang at us, and the Prophet said, "Kill it." We ran to kill it but it escaped quickly. The Prophet said, "It has escaped your evil, and you too have escaped its evil." Volume 6, Book 60, number 457. Narrated by Al-Amish. Abu Hurairah said, Allah's apostle said, "Between the two sounds of the trumpet, there will be 40. Somebody asked Abu Hurairah, 40 days. But he refused to reply. Then he asked, 40 months. He refused to reply. Then he asked, 40 years. Again, he refused to reply. Abu Hurairah added, "Then, after this period, Allah will send water from the sky and then the dead bodies will grow like vegetation grows. There is nothing of the human body that does not decay except one bone. That is the little bone at the end of the coccyx of which the human body will be recreated on the day of resurrection." See Hadith number 338. Volume 6, Book 60, number 458. Narrated by Sa'al bin Sa'd. I saw Allah's apostle pointing with his index and middle fingers, saying, "The time of my advent and the hour are like these two fingers. The great catastrophe will overwhelm everything." Volume 6, Book 60, number 459. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet said, "Such a person as recites the Quran and masters it by heart, will be with the noble righteous scribes, in heaven. And such a person exerts himself to learn the Quran by heart, and recites it with great difficulty, will have a double reward." Volume 6, Book 60, number 460. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. The Prophet said, "On the day when all mankind will stand before the Lord of the worlds, some of them will be enveloped in their sweat up to the middle of their ears." Volume 6, Book 60, number 461. Narrated by Aisha. I heard the Prophet saying, "He surely will receive an easy reckoning." 84.8. Volume 6, Book 60, number 462. Narrated by Aisha. I heard the Prophet saying, "He surely will receive an easy reckoning." 84.8. Volume 6, Book 60, number 463. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's apostle said, "On the day of resurrection, anyone whose account will be taken will be ruined, i.e. go to hell." I said, "O Allah's apostle, may Allah make me be sacrificed for you." Doesn't Allah say, "Then as for him who will be given his record in his right hand, he surely will receive an easy reckoning." 84.78. He replied, "That is only the presentation of the accounts, but he whose record is questioned, will be ruined." Volume 6, Book 60, number 464. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. As regards the verse, "You shall surely travel from stage to stage, in this life and in the hereafter," it means, from one state to another. That concerns your Prophet. Volume 6, Book 60, number 465. Narrated by Al-Bara. The first of the companions of the Prophet who came to us, in Medina, were Mus'ab bin Umar and Ibn Maktum, and they started teaching us the Quran. Then came Ammar, Bilal and Sa'd. Afterwards, Umar bin al-Khattab came along with a batch of 20 men, and after that the Prophet came. I never saw the people of Medina so pleased with anything as they were with his arrival, so that even the little boys and girls were saying, "This is Allah's apostle who has come." He, the Prophet, did not come to Medina till I had learnt Surat al-Ala and also other similar surahs. Volume 6, Book 60, number 466. Narrated by Abdullah bin Zama. That he heard the Prophet delivering a sermon, and he mentioned the she-camel and the one who hamstrung it. Allah's apostle recited, "When the most wicked man among them went forth to hamstrung the she-camel," 91.12. Then he said, "A tough man whose equal was rare and who enjoyed the protection of his people, like Abi Zama went forth to hamstrung it." The Prophet then mentioned about the women, in his sermon, "It is not wise for any one of you to lash his wife like a slave, for he might sleep with her the same evening." Then he advised them not to laugh when somebody breaks wind and said, "Why should anybody laugh at what he himself does?" Volume 6, Book 60, number 467. Narrated by Al-Qama. I went to Sham with a group of the companions of Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Abu ad-Darda heard of our arrival, so he came to us and said, "Is there anybody among you who can recite Quran?" We replied in the affirmative. Then he asked, "Who is the best reciter?" They pointed at me. Then he told me to recite, so I recited the verse, "By the night as it envelops, by the day as it appears in brightness, by him who created male and the female." 92.13. Abu ad-Darda then said to me, "Did you hear it, like this, from the mouth of your friend, Abdullah bin Mas'ud?" I said, "Yes." He said, I too heard it, like this, from the mouth of the Prophet, but these people do not consider this recitation as the correct one.